African people, it is time for us to own our narrative. We have to stop following the white man's commandments as though we are headless chickens. They call it coronavirus, we call it coronavirus. They call it COVID-19, we call it COVID-19. Whatever they say, this number of people have died, we also say the same thing. It is as though we are just waiting for what is coming out of CNN and BBC to form our own narrative. What is wrong with we the Black people? We have to own our history. We have to own our heritage. We have to establish our own narrative. Otherwise, we are being made, we're making fools of ourselves, and they're laughing at us. Madagascar recently produced a remedy for this COVID-19, and every African leader, apart from a few that are procured, but when the World Health Organization came out and condemned Madagascar and said it is not safe, we need to first, study it, examine it, we are all quiet. Why don't we? What remedies were we producing for our sick before the arrival of the white man? Are you saying that when we were diseased and we had sicknesses and ailments, we didn't take care of them? We had traditional medicine. We had our own traditional remedies. But we always look to the white man to save us. How can he save us when he can't even save himself? You see, we have to invest to make investment in this traditional herbal industry. We have to invest in our traditional education systems. We have to invest in our traditional, agriculture sector. All these things they consider, ancient and outdated. That is what anchored the great success of the African people. But for how long are we going to follow around the white man like we are headless chicken? We don't do anything unless it is qualified. They say we lock down, we are also locking down. They say sanitize, we also sanitize. They say close, put on a mask, we are putting on masks. I mean, not that those things are not helpful somehow, but I mean, do you mean to tell me that there is nothing that an African person can come up with to contribute to this, whatever is going on right now, to producing a remedy of this current thing? African people, we had our glory, and our glory has been stripped from us. We were the anchors of civilization. We taught we at one point we conquered the Europeans and we civilized them. We taught them mathematics, we taught them physics and biology and chemistry, you name it, But where is all this knowledge? Why are we drifting away from the pool of ancient knowledge that anchored, that carried our ancient success, whether it's social, political, economic? Because if we are not careful, if we do not rise up to reclaim what belongs to us, to get reconnected to our roots, we stand to lose everything. We are going to be victims of social imperialism, which is already happening. In Africa, they will not give you aid until you endorse LGBT rights, until you allow men to marry men, women to marry women, as disgusting as that sounds. We are living under the age of economic imperialism. You don't make any economic policy unless you've checked in with the UN, unless you've checked with the World, the World Bank, unless you've checked with the International Monetary Fund. We are living under the age of political imperialism, where you have to, we are living in an era where the leaders in the African continent are selected in Brussels or in London or in Washington. Where are the great minds of Africa? Where is our God-given intellect? Are we afraid to speak out? Well, as for me, in my household, we will not be silent. We will speak. We have to stand up, African people. We have to wake up from our sleep. We are a lion that is sleeping. We need to wake up before it is too late. Because if we do not stand up and say something and do something and stop pointing fingers at each other and join hands and begin to unify our continent and begin to reconnect and get reconciled, the continental Africans with the Africans abroad, I'm telling you, we are going to live to tell a story of what used to be. We do not want to be another used to be, because people coming from abroad are going to have to buy land from Chinese and white people. If we don't take any action, we are going to become slaves on our own continent. Believe you me, if we stand by and just talk and talk and talk and do nothing, because we know what the problem is. We know who the perpetrators of the current pandemic that African people face is. We know who these perpetrators are. But even with all this wealth of knowledge, with all the information that we have access to in this age in this digital era, we still have the audacity to keep talking and talking and talking. Talk is cheap. We need to begin taking affirmative, conclusive, revolutionary action to begin to break the systems that have kept us in psychological bondage, in political bondage, in economic bondage, in social bondage. Now is the time. The Kwame Nkrumahs and the Julius Nyereres and the Kenyatas and the Amins and the Lumumbas, these people never walked the face of the earth for nothing. They sowed a seed which we are not watering. If we don't water the seed, two things will happen. Either the seed will die or it will produce rotten fruits. So it is up to you and up to me to begin to stand up and begin not talking again, but taking action. Begin to move back to the continent where you're very much needed, where you can be an asset, where your efforts can actually make a difference to fight back and set back these Western exploitative and diabolic agendas and policies. You, African diaspora, we need your expertise. We need that wealth of knowledge that you have. We need your technical skills in technology and healthcare. We need these inventive and innovative, pools and gold mines that you have. We need to tap into them as an African people because the continent is wide open. And believe me, the African people are not benefiting from the wealth that they sit on. Why? Because they have been psychologically conditioned to think that anything that they need to get done must come from the West. Really? Anyhow, leave me your comments below. Let me know what you think. Time for action. Thank you for watching.